Hi guys, Lori Scherer with the Scherer Team with my partner,
Dan Carp with the Carp Group.
Dan, have you ever taken a listing that you knew was overpriced?
Never.
Come on.
I have.
I know I have. So what do? You don't just stay with it and say, what did I do? I shouldn't have done that. You need to fix it. One of the reasons why I can admit to being guilty to taking a listing that is not priced properly, or we can say is overpriced, is I think to create and to nurture the relationship with the seller as we explore the current market together. And sometimes it's just a matter of them surrendering to the truth and the reality of what's going on. I do send my clients information on a regular basis about what's going on with the market. And unfortunately, when I have to point out to them that every other home that's been on the market since they've been on the market is now under contract or sold, we need to point the direction that buyers are rejecting their home for a number of reasons, most likely price. And one thing I'm seeing is a much bigger gap from homes that are selling, where we used to have a gap between 3 and 6% of the list price to the sold price. I'm seeing it widen so much that now it's between like 9% and 12%. So many other homes are going into the market at the incorrect price.
It takes longer. It costs the seller more money when it sits on the market for some time. And I think Lori's right with the list to sell price ratio. We've spoken about that before. Inventory, we track it all the time, different price points, different markets, Palm Beach, specific communities, and different price points will have different inventory issues and contraction, or you'll see additional inventory come on. And we go through that every week and we educate our sellers and our team about what that looks like. It's really, really important to price it right. And I think the thing that we can talk to and we have before is it has to be the right fit, right? Not every listing will be for us. We want to be helpful, but we're going to give the honest feedback in terms of what we'll do to help market and how collectively we'll price a property the right way. It's a discussion, right? It's something that we want to have a conversation with our sellers and go through that. But there are ways that before we go to market, we could have conversations, we could have discussions about getting good data, bringing it back to our sellers and expressing that, look, like, I know this is what you want to realize. And obviously it's about the net number, not necessarily the gross sale price, but let's get some data first. Let's talk about that. Let's be strategic. We're not just throwing in the market and hoping for the best and seeing where it goes. We really are going to take time and go through a pre-market and go through that. We don't have to decide on the exact price when we sign paperwork. We could really have clarity around, look, here's maybe a range. Let's take some time and think strategically. Can we realize that? Can we get there? Obviously, our goal is to help our sellers get the most amount of money, but also deal with the least amount of stress at the same time. So it's a conversation, and it's a strategic conversation for us to have.
Right. And we're constantly learning and evaluating too, because these numbers fluctuate daily. So we're on top of this on a regular basis. Thanks for listening.